So I got three parent takeaways for you after TEFOS, the Executive Function Online Summit. Three takeaways after the summit this year. So as you know, I interviewed about 50 people, and I do TEFOS every year. This is my seventh year doing it. And I wanted to offer you something some takeaways that you could use that could actually help you, help your kid, and hopefully help their quality of life. Ultimately, that's what we're trying to do here. So my name's Seth Perler, TEFOS Executive Function Summit.com or TEFOS25.com. This is our website here. If you haven't seen it, Executive Function Summit.com talks all about the speakers. You can still get the VIP pass. And then this is, part of the summit here. We have some amazing speakers in the parenting world that help parents to support kids with executive function challenges. And after interviewing all these people, and then after reading hundreds, if not thousands, of Facebook comments and diving in over the weekend, I have three things that I think might be helpful to you. Three things. Number one takeaway I want to talk about. So every year when I do this, I get themes start to just sort of naturally emerge. Like I hear the speakers talk about the same things. It's like the whole planet is sort of going through similar things in some ways. But for the parenting world right now, these three big themes that came up. Number one is curiosity. Why is this important? What happens is you, the parent, me, teachers, us adults in our kids' lives, we're trying to help kids with executive function challenges, kids that are struggling in school, that are struggling in life, that are struggling to get important things done, awesome kids, bright kids that are struggling to get important things done. Why does this matter? Because if our kids can't figure out how to get the important things done, it limits their freedom, it limits their choices, it limits the possibilities they have in their future. So we want our kids to have a good future, a happy, healthy, successful life. And if these things are limited, this is something we want to really work with and support. So curiosity is one of the big themes that really came out this year. And what that means is that we, again, the adults, have often grown up in our families and our family dynamics and our communities and our schools and our little worlds that we've grown up in. We've grown up with a lot of dysfunction. We've grown up with a lot of maladaptive patterns. We've grown up with a lot of things that really didn't work. And as adults, we start to think, wow, I don't see the world that way, the way my parents saw it, or my grandparents, or my aunts and uncles, or my teachers, or these people that influence me, or the world, or the media, or everything that's influenced me in this world. I don't necessarily see it that way. And a lot of you and I, our job as adults in adulting is sifting through all of that stuff that we've grown up with and finding out who we really are as an adult, what we really believe, what really matters to us, questioning things and finding out who we really are. Well, with a lot of the times when we're trying to help our kids, we are not in that sort of mindful state. We rely on default patterns, old patterns, things that just come out, that just come up, things that where we're not really thinking it through, and we lack curiosity. So our kids will tell us something and we will lecture them. We'll give them the answer. We'll tell them our wisdom. We'll try to impart upon them what we think they should do or be, or how they should act or respond, or how they shouldn't act or respond, or what they should or shouldn't think. We are trying to be helpful. We're trying to use our wisdom to help them, but we're not in a curiosity state. Now imagine you and imagine somebody in your life who you really don't feel like they understand you. You don't feel like they get you. You don't feel like they listen to you. It could be a doctor. It could be a car mechanic. It could be a person at a store. It could be your spouse. It could be a friend. It could be somebody who used to be a friend. It could be a relative, somebody you work with. But imagine somebody that you feel like they don't get you. They don't listen to you. They don't hear you. They're just not hearing you. They're just not seeing you. They're just not getting it. They don't understand. Now, imagine somebody in your life who is very curious. They're like one of your favorite people. They're always there for you. You always just feel seen and heard and known and understood. You feel secure and safe with them. That person is often curious. They're asking you questions like, "Hey, how's it going? Wow, how did that happen? Wow, why is that going on?" They're curious. They're not judging. They're not giving you advice unless maybe you ask for it, or unless you have that kind of a relationship where they can give you unsolicited advice. They're not telling you how you should be, what you should think. They're not pressuring you. They're allowing you to be you. They're holding space for you, and they're curious, and they're loving, and they're warm, and they're compassionate, and they're empathetic, and they're helpful because of those things. And what we often do as adults, we're trying to be that for our kids, but in the moment we forget it. Our emotions are going off, and our emotions are we may not think, oh, I'm in fear, but we're having fear that our kid's not going to be okay. So we are responding, or I should say reacting. Being reactive is more automatic, it's more programmed, it's less mindful, rather than responding where we are taking time to really pause and think about what we want to say to our kids. We're reacting with a very default type of a reaction that isn't the best thing for them. It isn't the best thing for our relationship with them. Isn't the best thing to create a relationship with them where they're wanting to volunteer information with us and to come to us with the difficult things, because we're not holding space for them to do that in a safe way. We're using too much judgment, too much shame, and too much guilt, and too much, you should be like this, you should be like that, you should think like this, you need to do this, you need to do that. This is the priority. So we're trying to get them again to do the things that are important for them, but we're doing it in a way without curiosity. So that is one of the themes. That's I would say probably the biggest theme. Now, not all the speakers use the word curiosity, but that is just such a big theme this year for me that my brain kept hearing curiosity, curiosity, curiosity. So I want to share that with you right now. If you came to TEFOS or not, um, that concept, if that's a core concept that you can take into the next year of your life with your kiddo, and question, how can I be more curious? How can I show up in a more curious way? How can I surround myself with people who support me, who are more curious about me? It's such a great one word thing that we can anchor with. And if you don't agree with me, tell me in the comments below. If you do agree with me, tell me in the comments below. If you have a synonym or another way of thinking about curiosity, curiosity is sort of this non-judgmental, open-hearted, open questions, open mindset. Like if you have different ways of thinking about the word curiosity, pop them down there. Help us come up with other words. Like, can we think of one word that we can really anchor to help us in the next year with our kids? But that is the one that came up for me: curiosity, or a curiosity mindset, or an open-hearted mindset. It's a really curious way of, hey, what's going on, kiddo? Your kid's yelling at you, they're frustrated with something, and instead of being like, you don't treat me like that, you don't do this, that's not it, that's inappropriate, blah blah blah, you're going to be punished, you're going to be rewarded for this, you're going to be all these things that we default to. I'm going to lecture you. Instead of defaulting that, learning to default to curiosity. Wow. Instead of like your kid's angry at you and you're like, that's not appropriate, you're like, wow, what's up? You must be having a rough day. How can I be there for you? What do you need right now? How can I be helpful? How are you going to solve that problem? How can I help you solve that problem? It sounds really tough. That curiosity. What's going on with you? That I think was the number one concept. I have two others. One is about parents beating themselves up. I'll get to that in a moment. And the other one is about the creators. So something that was really a big takeaway for me this year is number two, that the speakers, the 50 or so people that I interviewed, these people aren't like famous giant creators that everybody knows. But I want you to understand that after 7 years of doing the summit, 25 years in education, and this year doing these 50 interviews, I understand that when you see like a famous author or a famous this or that, or somebody on TV or something, we give them so much value as if they must be such an expert. They must know something we don't. They don't. They're just another person. They just have good marketing, or they just have good exposure. They just, in a lot of cases, got lucky with certain things and got their break and whatever. All, and they've often worked very hard and they're often very good. But what I want to tell you is that there are creators out there, maybe on Instagram with 500 followers. Maybe they don't have social media at all. Maybe they're a teacher in your kid's school. And there are brilliant, brilliant people who have dedicated their lives to serving kids and families. And what my hope is that you and I see them, that these people are there doing amazing work, thankless work, and often don't get the credit for coming up with models and ways to help kids, that help you help your kids, that help teachers help kids, that help people help kids, that are amazing. Little nuggets that these people have spent decades of their lives working out to figure out how to help people with certain problems, to not undervalue them and to not miss them and to make sure to say thank you. And I honestly, to go into, if they have social media and stuff, and support them, comment on their stuff, thank them, tell them how they've impacted your life. These people are out there doing such good work. And again, it's often thankless. And I'm interviewing all these people and I'm like, and I do this every year, but like I get off of these interviews, I'm like, this person's amazing. They're doing amazing work. There's so much craziness and negativity and narcissism and things in the world going on that are so bad and wrong and unhealthy and dysfunctional that our kids are seeing in this world. But there's so much good. I want to encourage myself and everyone to not miss what's right in front of our faces. How there are these amazing people dedicated to helping people. And I'm talking, in terms of the parenting world and education world and helping kids, but in all sorts of areas. There's so many good people out there. So to take time to support them, if they have social media and they're a creator, to support their social media, to like and subscribe, because those things help them get their message out. If you like what they're doing, when you interact with them or comment or like or subscribe or share their stuff, it helps them get their message out. Again, these are people who are not famous people who are just dedicated to serving families and kids. That helps. So just to support your creators, your people out there that are like in the trenches doing good work and providing stuff to the world. And there's so many, and your non-creators, your teacher that is just like living their life. They go home, they have their family, they're grading papers at night, they're planning for your kids at night, they're spending their weekends grading papers and planning and creating awesome lessons for your kids and treating your kid with dignity and loving your kid and helping your kid become the best they can be and supporting your kid. Like, to really notice those teachers that are bending over backwards thanklessly for very little pay, without the resources they need, without the support they need, with classrooms that are bigger than they can reasonably serve all the kids in the way that they want to really show them the value that you have for them and help them see how important their work is, because a lot of them are burned out and they're just, anyhow, that was my second thing. So number one was the curiosity mindset, taking that into your next year. So number two was like really honoring creators or people who they very humbly are serving kids and families in brilliant ways. Number three is the self-compassion piece. So a theme that I saw a lot, during the summit, I get hundreds of private messages, emails, and then seeing the stories in the Facebook group and hearing things from the speakers, from families. And I think a big theme right now is that a lot of parents are very hard on themselves, fathers and mothers, in two-parent families and single-parent families. It's just this theme of a lot of parents that are very hard on themselves, that beat themselves up, that feel like they're not good enough parents, that feel like they're bad parents, that feel like they're messing up their kid. All these things that I hear over and over from parents, these fears that they have, and one with that theme of parents and so much parental guilt and shame. With that theme of parents, one of the themes that I hear so much from the speakers, people who work with families in the trenches for decades, is that you are the perfect parent for your kid. You really are the perfect parent for your kid. Doesn't mean you're a perfect parent. You are the perfect parent for your kid. You're exactly the parent your kid needs. And your kid loves you, and your kid wants one thing from you: connection. They want connection, presence. They want to feel seen. They want to feel heard, understood, known, that you believe in them, that you've got their back. They want to feel that. Not that that you see them and hear them and understand, but they want to feel connected, seen, heard, understood. They want to feel that. I'm going to say that one more time. Your kids want to feel heard. They want to feel seen, not just be seen and heard. They want to feel that from you. They want to feel connection. They want to feel like you've got their back. And parents are very hard on themselves. And so many of the speakers are like, you are the right parent. You're the perfect parent. Like, you can beat yourself up if you want. There might be a helpfulness in that in sort of getting you to the next level, but don't stay stuck in that. You're amazing. You're a parent. If you're watching this right now, you are a parent who is doing the work on yourself. You are growing. You are trying. A lot of parents are not trying at all. You are here doing the work, doing the learning, spending the time. You're investing yourself and helping your kid. So there is a concept of self-compassion. And I would say that for me, and I hope this isn't as long for you, but the journey from when I started really working on myself to when I really internalized self-compassion, this way where if I had a family member or a friend who was going through something, I would be understanding and compassionate. But if I was going through the same thing, I would shame myself and be like, God, I'm such an idiot. Why did I do that? What's wrong with me? So switching that to where I could treat myself like I treat other people and be like, it's okay, Seth. You're doing the best you can do. You know, like you're all right, Seth. I love you. I care about you. Like, to treat myself how I treat other people, that self-compassion piece, that empathy, that warmth and concern for myself. From my journey, it took me about 16 years to get to that point. It was a long journey for me. I hope it's not for you. Either way, for parents, if you feel like you're beating, or teachers, you feel like you're beating up on yourself, you're hard on yourself, your inner critic is so loud. The volume can be turned down on that inner critic, and the volume for the self-compassion voice can be turned up. That's what we're doing here. And modeling that is so good for our kids when we're working on ourselves, whether they even know it or not, they feel it. To turn down that volume on that inner critic. And you can be like, yeah, inner critic, thank you for the shame. Thank you for the guilt. Thank you for the anger. Thank you for the frustration with myself. But I'm good right now. You can come back later. Right now, I'm going to listen to my self compassion part of me. I'm going to turn up the volume on that. And your volume is going down on you, the inner critic and self compassion piece. Yeah, I'm doing the best I can do. I'm going to even try to do a little bit better. I do such amazing things as a parent or a teacher, or whatever. I'm going to focus on those and build upon those. And I'm going to take my strengths and make them even stronger. I'm not going to beat myself up for my weaknesses. We're going to move on. We're going to look at this amazing kid, this human being that we care about in our life, and uh, and focus on moving forward and doing our best to support this kiddo to have a great life now and a great future. All right, that was a lot. So we got number one, the curiosity mindset. I'm curious. How's that experience for you, kiddo? How can I help? How can I be there for you? I'm curious. No shame, no judgment. I'm open. I'm curious. Number two, support the creators, support the people who are serving your kids and families, support them, see them. And number three, the self compassion piece. You are the parent or teacher these kids need. You're an amazing human being. You have everything you need in you right this second to be able to support them. And you've got this. And the self compassion piece. You don't have to be perfect. There's no such thing as perfection, but the self compassion. Can you have warmth to yourself, empathy to yourself, understanding of yourself, how you would with your closest friends and family members if they're going through a rough time? Can you show yourself the same compassion or build towards that, turning the volume down on the inner critic and up on the self-compassion voice? My name is Seth Perler. I don't even know if I introduced myself to you. I've been doing this work a long time. I have this thing called TEFOS, executivefunctionsummit.com or TEFOS.com, and we have this where I interview all these amazing human beings in terms of how to support kids with executive function challenges. Check it out. Check out my site, sethperler.com. You can like, subscribe, comment. What thoughts do you have? What do you think about curiosity in that frame? What do you think about supporting the amazing people, humble people who often are not even noticed that help your kid? And what do you think about the self-compassion piece and being easy on yourself? Do you struggle with that? Is your inner critic too loud? How can I be helpful with you? Grab freebies on my site. Support my work if you want. Leave a comment. All the things. Share it with somebody. Have a beautiful day. I want to wish you, as I always say, I want to wish you peace of mind. I want to wish you joy. And I want to wish you most of all connection with the people in your life, particularly the kids in your life. Take care. Be well. I will see you next time.